Robert Young, good morning to you. First in the door. Ugh. Chevy Fish, you made it. Good morning. Good job. Paul C. Hello, Paul C. Roxanne, good morning. Michael Kirby. Hello, Michael Kirby. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us. Oh, Mountaintop Fish. Hello, Mountaintop Fish. Nice to see you with us today. Hillbilly Nomad. Hello, Hillbilly Nomad. Welcome. Oh dear. So it's Sunday morning. We'll be going again this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Chevy is reminding us to wipe our feet as we come in. Hit the button. I need to hit the button. Where's the button? There's the button. Mary Page is here. Good morning, Mary Page. Happy Sunday to you. Oh dear. Bah. Well, Chevy saying hello to everybody. Oh, haven't seen Lee yet. Maybe he got lost somewhere. That was certainly an entertaining video yesterday morning, wasn't it? Went back and watched the whole thing. It was a little colorful in places. And I'm not editing, so I didn't remove some of the stuff that probably should be edited out. Cassie B. Good morning, Cassie B. Manish. Hello, Manish. Nice to have you with us. Oh, we got a right nice crew here, don't we? Fish Pappy. Hello, Fish Pappy. Happy to see you. Oh, really? I haven't, Roxanne said, Lee made a Father Fish intro singing video this morning. I haven't seen it yet. We'll have to get it and try to figure out how to put it on. Some hand gestures. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cassie B. When am I going saltwater fish collecting again? I'm not sure. Frank is laid up more or less permanently. until he can get a knee operation. So I'm not going to be able to go with him. But I do know how to get where we went. And that was a pretty good spot. My only issue at this point is that I hurt my hip, which is better. But if I go out there again and do it again, I'll hurt it again. So I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with that, where I'm going to go. I really need a boat. I really need to get a boat. That's kind of the next issue. And I could use a little one, just something I can get in and out of easily from the water. Holly Gibbs. Hello, Holly. So in answer to your question, Michael, I don't know when I'm going to go saltwater fish collecting again. There is a local place I could go to that's a lot closer than Boca. It's still half an hour drive. We went there 3 weeks ago and could not get into the park. It was closed, but it was not closed because of COVID. They had a sewage spill from a drain pipe that was left open, and they closed that area down. But that should be open now. So that's doable. I might try to do something this Wednesday. I really don't need any freshwater stuff, and I really do need saltwater, and I need a lot of it. So I really ought to get out there, and that would be a good spot to go to. That's Longboat Key, which is up there near where Moat Marine Aquarium is on City Island. It's just across the bridge on the Longboat. It's a really very nice park there. A lot of fishing, huge grass flat. So maybe even if I'm alone, I can do that. If I get somebody to go with me, that would be better. That way I can get somebody to carry stuff, because it's kind of a long walk to get there, and carrying a bucket and all the other. Oh, and I don't have my net. Frank's got my net. So that's a real problem. I got a broken one here. Oh, well, I need to try to get some stuff together so I can do this. I guess I need to get my net or buy a new one. I was kind of threatening to buy a new one anyway. But I don't have the money to do it right now. So, who else is here? Petra Man. Hi, Petra Man. Lisa Perez. Good morning, Lisa. Aquatic Conquest. Sorry. Aquatic Conquest is here. How are the t-shirts coming? I should be getting something back from the printer Monday. I'll call them tomorrow. I ordered cups and t-shirts. So we'll see. Oh, Mary. Got a job for you. Mary Page. Go on Teespring and see if you can figure out how to order t-shirts and cups from them. If we can do it on Teespring, that'll make life so much easier. I won't have to handle them in-house. I can do that as well, and I'll keep moving on that front. But you've been looking for something to do to help, and that would certainly help. So far as pictures are concerned, I can send you some. Just be in touch with me by email, and I'll send you some pictures that are usable, unless you can pull them off of YouTube. I can give you the details for my Gmail account, which will allow you to pull pictures out. Petroman wants a cup. Yeah, we need to get on this. Decide what the logo was going to be yet. Haven't decided. We got a couple of good ideas. Keep it dirted, I like. A dirty fish tanker. I don't know. Father Fish is something fish tank, dirted aquarium capping set. Oh yeah, that was coming up with a name for the sand. That was funny. The storefront. I think so too. I really like, and I've got a really good picture of the storefront that I can use. Um, put that on, put the face here, and then the storefront on the back. Keep it dirted. I do too. I like that, Chevy. Mary Page, wonder if Lance made yesterday. No, he didn't make it in yesterday. Mary Page is not getting video. Don't know why. Down and dirty with Father Fish. Is everybody else getting video? Yeah, your friend never called me, Mary. Huh. Mary is buffering. Skip to the new. Skip to the current, Mary. See if it'll see if it'll pick it up current. Lee's video. I guess I ought to look at it. Let me take a look at it. We'll all look at it. Let's see. To do this, I need to share screen. Well, I don't know. I'm not getting anything today. I'm getting yesterday. Was it yesterday's? Is it this? What a wonderful day. Oh, right. Live chat. Gotta do that. Well, come on. So something on me first. Well, it must be this one. Let's just play it and see. Oh, not getting sound.
What a wonderful morning. My 15th wedding anniversary would see.
Oh, not getting sound. That was yesterday.
Been together much, much longer than that. What a wonderful morning. I'm a bit sullen today. Wedding anniversary. Would have been my father's birthday much, much longer than that. But he also died on his birthday. And his last wish was, I hope I make it to my birthday, Lee. And he did. And it was pretty much close to midnight at the end of his day when I received the phone call from my mummy.
Is this it, Mary Page?
And my sister was there as well, Nicola, and the nurses. When my mummy, she didn't actually phone me because she knew I was going to be too upset. And then comes about right outside my window. And how about this for some entertainment? How lovely. So I'm going to end this stream. No one's watching anyway, but I don't care. What a lovely morning. And I'm going to pop over to Survive the Fish. Survive the Fish, don't be late. I know. Tutty bye. Love you all. Nobody. I'll catch you on.
So that was yesterday. I'm not seeing a current one. Cassie B just posted the link here. Oh, there he is. Well, I can't do this without knocking everything offline. Anyway. Ro's here. Good morning, Ro. Nice to see you. Tommy Dendo, can I take S? Finish your comment, Tommy. Hat Trick Farm. Good morning, Hat Trick. I saw that tank yesterday. I think I did. Looked really nice. Mary Page. Well, what happened to Tommy? Would it take an R or something? Can I take? Finish your comment, Tommy. Mark Honert. Mark Honert. Mary, showed wife your new setup. I gotta ask why I don't do pretty tanks like that. Called mine nothing but tubs of fish. I was talking to Chevy yesterday about tubs of fish. Tell her that only advanced fish keepers keep their fish in tubs. But you should do one pretty one. Lady Mary has a great video. Well, let's look at Mary. Akina Tropical is here. Good morning, Akina. And Mary Page Flynn. Let's see if we can. See if we can do this. What's up, Betsy?
No, I was just looking who was coming out to eat. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I got spelling wrong. Paigeflyn. Paigefl. There it is. And there's the pretty lady. And here's her new video.
The Java Fern came from Lucas Brett's LRB,
I did watch
and it's
this.
starting to come in.
Yeah,
I
it's
had to do a lot
nice.
of pruning because, of course, Java Fern will die off and it will shoot little sprouts everywhere. But you can see right there, what I've done is I've reattached them. This plant back here is the Pogostemon stellatus octopus. That beautiful plant came from Aquarium Co-op, quickly becoming my favorite plant because I believe it's going to cover this whole back wall and really fill in. And I want plants that'll reach the top because this is a beta sorority, and 2 of my girls are still in timeout. There's 3 in here now.
Good morning, Bates and Genetics.
5 Corydoras, 3 albino, 1 stir-by, and 1 panda, which I would like to get some more because I got these when the pandemic first started.
Rohan.
2 white skirt tetras. Let's see, here's one of the girls. Sorry, it's shaky.
Yeah, you had a white patch. I saw that.
These 2 are actually glow bettas, and they're just like the healthiest.
Okay, I'm going to cut off the audio from Mary. Tammy Denda, can I take dirt and small critters from a nearby pond, set up a tank, and put fish in it from the local fish store? Do I need to worry about parasites? Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy, I never worry about parasites. I just don't. And I rarely, if ever, have a problem. The only problem I've had is with an occasional leech type parasite, which is pretty big, attaches itself to the side of the fish or the gill. You can see it, and you can actually pull it off. Other than that, I've never had a problem. So my suggest is to go ahead and do it. And no, Rohan, you're not invisible. I'm just working up to you. Coming up, where to go? And something about a oh, here it is. My curry has a whitish patch behind the head. A white patch. Is it fungusy? Or is it, what is it? Whitish. A whitish patch. Is it extending out beyond the body like a fungus? Is it kind of right against the body, kind of smooth? What's it? Give us a little more information. Cassie B is talking about finding moneywort in her backyard. Pretty cool. Mary Page, don't pull up the one of me and my mess. Some pretty bettas, Mary Page. So waiting to hear back from Rohan. Petroman, when I moved to St. Augustine in 2 years, going to set up some tubs for guppies. 2 more years to go in New Jersey. You can do tubs in the summer. You've got 2 summers to go, or one anyway. Rhett's here. Hi, Rhett. Logan's is here. I hope you're feeling better, Logan's. I was looking for you. Right against the body, and the molly is picking at it. It sounds like something that could be an injury that's got a secondary infection. You can treat it. There are a couple of different things you can use. You can use a regular antibiotic salve, like the kind you get in the little tube, and just use that topically. Put it directly on it. You can put a drop of peroxide on it. Do not use alcohol. You'll probably kill them. Be very ginger with the peroxide. It can be risky, but you could put a tiny drop of that, just enough to wet it with the peroxide. That'll kill whatever secondary infection is there. I don't know if I have any here. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's just the regular. Here's one. Here's mupirocin. Here's just a regular ointment. I don't know if that one's any good. That's dermatological use. Probably is. Just a tiny little with your finger, and then kind of touch the affected area. That'll seal it. Do the peroxide first and then seal it with that. It'll stay on for a while, and it will provide some antibacterial help. And then just keep an eye on it. See if that gets rid of it. If it doesn't, then you'll need to do something a bit more drastic. But generally, the simplest thing you can do is going to be better. And it's always better to treat topically than it is to treat the water. If I've got a fish with a wound, I don't want to throw a bunch of chemicals in a fish tank that might have 50 other fish in it. I'd rather treat that wound on that fish. And the same goes for any kind of, generally, if you've got a fungus or a bacteria, it's secondary, usually to an injury. And if it's not, if it's systemic, if there's something else going on, then it'll tell you pretty quick, because that won't work. So if it doesn't work, then need to take the next step. And the next step would be to isolate the fish. Take them out. You might do that anyway. Take them out, put them in a small container. You can float the container in your tank if you want to keep the same temperature. if you only have something small. Corridors are air breathers, so you don't need an air stone. You can put them in a jar and float it and just change the water out periodically, like daily or something. But do not feed him. Do not put any food in there at all for the duration of the problem until it clears up. So I hope that helps. At least saying that Mary actually and only loves him. And that's a lie. Lee's a liar. That's a lie. Mary loves me as much as she loves Lee. She loves me and Lee and lots more besides because she's a lover. Uh, See, told you. Hydrogen peroxide, yes, Rohan, exactly. Very small amount. Don't overdo it. It can be very toxic. It can kill the fish if you put them in it in any way. Just the tiniest amount to get it right on that wound. Uh, Roxanne is saying that she had one that wound up being columnaris. She treated half doses of Aquarium Co-op's meds, and it got better. Columnaris is a bear. I've never successfully treated columnaris, but I've never had columnaris on a cory. I get it on guppies, female guppies, and I get it on neons, and that's it. Nothing else ever gets columnaris. I found the only way I treat it with sulfa, triple sulfa, and then I pull the infected fish out. It'll even try to cure the infected fish. And generally, if I do that, I can get rid of it that way. Rohan's red platy had 20 plus babies. Wow, that's terrific. Oh my, Rowan's collecting Tetra eggs. Very cool. What kind of Tetra, Rohan? Right, Mary. We understand perfectly. Lee doesn't understand because he thinks he's special. Little does he know. Angler Allen is here. Hello, Angler Allen. One more like that, Lee, and you're going in timeout. Be cool. He's the one, that unique, beautiful flower that stands out in the garden of our kingdom, Mary Page. Right. You are my favorite Lee out of all the Lees. He is a unique flower. Alan is here. Hi, Alan. Catfish Terry. Hello, Catfish Terry. I think I saw you earlier. Gary Allen. Nice to see you, Gary. High Rise Window Cleaner is here. Good to see you. Rohan Blackscar. Oh, cool. That'll be nice. A tank full of Tetras, single species Tetras, is so cool and looks so neat. So, once you can get them up. What are you feeding your baby Tetras, Rohan? Leaves from the wilder culture infusoria. Yeah, infusoria is key. Need to get paramecium culture going. Microworm culture will work if you can get some. Vinegar eels will work. Um, Nauplii from brine shrimp are too big. Daphne are too big. You really need paramecium culture. They're going to hatch tomorrow. You can collect in the wild from a pond from Tetras and feed that. It'll contain. Be just real careful. You're not getting anything in there. A predator like a dragonfly larvae that'll wipe them out. So watch it closely. But you can certainly you can certainly do that, and then be culturing something anyway, because you're going to need to feed every day. Boy, Lee's at it today. Glad we're not on here. Roxanne, I uploaded a very short clip yesterday from my digital microscope to YouTube showing a nearite snail that hatched in my freshwater tank. Very cool, Roxanne. I've been able to do that too occasionally. They seem to be able to hatch in very hard alkaline water. I've got water that's up 400 to 500 ppm with a pH of 8.0, and I've occasionally had them hatch. Not a lot. I do keep them alive indefinitely. Neorites are wonderful. They never die from me. Rose says that was her grandpa's favorite fish, the black skirt tetra. I sold a bunch of them yesterday. Somebody was enamored of them. Mary Page is asking how Charles is. I wish he'd get that fish out of his tank. Lee has a diseased fish in his tank that he insists on leaving in the tank. And it's like having a time bomb in there that's going to explode. It's already done it once, it's going to do it again. And it'll wipe out everything. You really need to pull that fish out. You probably can wipe that patch off, but it's a real risk you're taking leaving them in there. I've told you this a dozen times. You really need to get that fish out of there and not feel sorry for every little thing that comes along. Roe, Lee can't be king. He said I was boring. I know. I know. He's the jester. Lee's the jester. Oh, perfect. Rohan noticed small pools of rainwater with algae and many microorganisms. Many cows graze in the area. Absolutely perfect. You can get wonderful culture going that way. Yeah, pull it out and add a little lettuce to it. Probably don't need to add anything. There will be straw grass and whatnot already there. Just to start using that. That sounds perfect. Huh. Yeah, it's a matter of having the food. The food is the key to raising baby fish. And if they're tiny, you need special food. I had a woman call me, a grandmother, called me about a week ago and said her 12, 13-year-old granddaughter and her daughter's father, the grandmother's son, spent their COVID homestay raising saltwater clowns, and they had 1,000 saltwater clowns that were upwards of an inch long. So that's kind of amazing. And it's all about food. It's all about getting the right food. You can get the right food to these tiny little fish. They will survive and grow. And if you can't, they won't. All right, I'm not getting any of this king stuff. Mary Page, you're encouraging him, Mary. You are encouraging him. You understand that, don't you? Uh, Roxanne wants to know what she missed, and she's asking Mary. I don't know. Aquatic Conquest. Wow, what are we wowing? I'm so behind here. It's hopeless. Oh dear. Mary thinks he can be a delicate flower. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I think. I think it would take more than a puff of wind to blow him down. Roxanne, send in the hammerhead worms, Ro. Whoops. Yeah, she got some bad worms in her yard. Bad, bad worms. Let's see. Mary Page says Charles is magnificent. You guys, Ro's going to start biting. Now we're all in trouble. Yeah, will not tolerate any of you bad mouthing Charles by Tetra with his white tail. It ain't a white tail. It's a fungus attached to his tail. Oh dear. All right, I'm backing up here and I'm just missing this silly Lee conversation, which I'm choosing for the moment to completely ignore. It looks like I got it all. The Master Ripper, can I bring Buddhists to the hospital and drop them off with you? Yes, and shut up. Is Rhett in the hospital? Wow, cool. Give us an update, Ro, on Rhett. Rhett, you're there? I got your plaintive plea. Am I getting this right? Is Rhett in the hospital getting his back looked at? One dirty platy is here. Oh. A fungus among us. Yeah, really. You guys, Tetra white mouth disease. Could I explain more on this, please? Hey, these are the dread diseases. It's a bacteria, a bacterial infection. Here's the thing to remember about fungus. Whenever you see fungus, understand that fungus does not grow on living tissue. Fungus grows on dead tissue. It grows on tissue that is killed by bacteria. So if you have fungus, you have a prior condition, bacterial condition. So fungus mouth on a tetra is caused by bacterial infection. So you need to treat the bacterial infection. Part of treating it means understanding what's causing it. And typically what's causing it is a dirty substrate or dirty water. What causes dirty water and dirty substrate is almost invariably excess feeding. Well, let me put it to you this way. If you set up anything close to a balanced aquarium, you have a substrate, you have plants. And the substrate is not gravel, it's sand or some other fine particulate matter. If you have that and you have plants, you have a tank that's capable of providing nutrition for the fish that are living in it. It's part of a cycle. The cycle goes on because it's natural, it's normal, it's systemic, it's what systems do. The biological system includes plants getting nutrition, nutrition building the plants, plants providing both food for fish and the nutrition provides nutrition for microscopic organisms, which is food for fish. So for tiny little fish, they can in a anything like a balanced aquarium, they can find food. If you keep dumping food in there, you are overloading the biological system and it's going to create an environment where bacteria will explode. And once bacteria explodes, they're like slime. They get all over everything, particularly the things that are most delicate. And one of the most delicate things in the fish tank is tetras. Tetras are amazingly delicate little animals. I probably ought to leave it at that. I want to put a caveat to it, but it's really true. Tetras really are delicate little animals, but they're capable of surviving very well in a healthy environment. They do amazingly well, and they'll live forever in a healthy environment. But it has to be a healthy environment, and a healthy environment is one in which bacteria is kept to an absolute minimum. It is the enemy. Now, having said that, it's not the enemy of the system. it's the friend of the system because it's taking care of excess nutrients in the system. Your job is to make sure there are no excess nutrients in that system. Stop feeding your fish. That's what causes all of these problems. How do you deal with a problem? First thing you do is clean up your act. Clean up the tank. Get rid of all the garbage in it, all the rot, all the filth, all the disgusting mess. Siphon the surface. Add an inch of sand. Add an inch of sand after you siphon. Get the gunk out, add an inch of sand. The reason you don't leave the gunk in and add the sand is because the gunk is going to lift up and it'll still be sitting on top of the sand. So you want to siphon it out. Siphon the mold, siphon the waste, siphon out all the dead fish, siphon everything that's rotten and foul and disgusting and get it out of there. And then add an inch of sand. Note, you still have not treated your fish. A fish with mouth fungus, I would never treat the tank. I would clean the tank up. If you treat the tank, you're gonna wipe out the bioculture. So you might as well just break it down and start over again as do that. Take out the sick fish. Put it in clear, clean water. Make sure it's the same pH as a bare minimum. Clear, clean water. You can put a few grains of salt in that water. That will kill the bacteria. You can put a drop or less of peroxide in that water. That will also help cure the bacteria. I would not put a drop of peroxide on a Tetra. They're too tiny, particularly around the mouth or gills. Too high a risk of it getting into the interior of the fish, and it'll kill it dead in an instant. If a half a cup of peroxide can kill you, think what a drop can do to a tiny little fish. So put it in the water, just a drop, and then put another drop in the next day or 6 hours later. If that's not working, it should kill the bacteria and clear it up. The fungus will fall off. That's why I'm worried about this fish that Lee has with fungus on it. It's not falling off. It's been on there for months. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. It should not be on there. All right. We did that. Thank you, Aquatic Conquest, for the question about mouth disease, the Tetra white mouth disease. Let me jump to the bottom and see the 500 comments I missed. If you put peroxide in the tank with all the fish, do they become dumb blondes? Yes, they do. And they die. So don't do it. Petroman, 4-inch sand beds in all his tanks for over 20 years. Fabulous. Aquatic Conquest, sand on its way. Mary Page, that's why I don't keep them anymore. They're beautiful. If I ever have any more Tetras, they'll be emperors. Lee, yes, it is your fault. Million and Sons, hello, hello. Chevy Fish's Patreon. My Patreon. And I want to thank those of you who are on here who are Patreon supporters. One of these days, you're going to be blessed by that. It will happen. Massey is in the hospital. Praise the Lord. Let's get it going. Get it dealt with. I'm excited for you, Rhett, and I'm praying for you. And this is going to be wonderful. You're going to come out of there a brand new man. Keep the faith. Keep it up. We're looking for you. Getting healed. I have a mosquito flying around me. Yeah. And I'm going to deal with it. Lee, Tetra, a bunch of pussies. I'll never have them again. But I cage canaries in a mine. Well, they are actually. You know, you're doing the one thing nobody ever does successfully, which is keep a large school of neon Tetras. Nobody does that. Not for any length of time. But you're doing real well. I would not at all be. You haven't talked about your debt. How many you've actually lost, Lee? Aquatic Conquest. Thank you, Father Fish. That was a useful answer you gave on the Tetra white mouth fungus, and I'll be cutting my feeding by a third. I would cut it by 90%. Aquatic Conquest. If you're just feeding little tiny fish, cut it way down. Mary Page missed Million and Sons being silly. So did I. Backing up here. Row. Somebody was here in chat. Roxanne, slap a silly suit on you, Lee. Right, got that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Has an infection. My word. Roxanne says the nurses speak Southern yearly. No doubt. So he has an infection from cellulitis. Goodness. Cassie B, here we go. My goldfish has white spots on her tail, and I've not been able to resolve it. Looks the best he or she has looked in a while. I've tried many treatments and stopped. She still keeps living. Yeah, it sounds like Lee's Tetra. It's obviously not ick, or it would have spread. If they are protrusions, you can try using a pair of tweezers or a razor blade and very, very gently try to remove the white spots. If it's not getting worse, then it probably is some kind of growth. It could be natural. It could simply be a genetic thing. Generally speaking, if some kind of anomaly shows up and doesn't do anything, just kind of sits there, the better part of valor is to just keep an eye on it. don't really try to do anything with it. Um, the difference between something like that and what Lee has in his tank is what I am worried about, which is that it looks like fungus, and if it is, there's an underlying infection. If there's an underlying infection, it could be attacking the other fish. If you're losing fish, Lee, I would get Charlie out of there because he could very well be the source of the problem. Million says, thanks for the discussion on cyano yesterday. Siphon spot trading seems to be keeping it under wraps. Fry have been relocated too. That generally works. It's just a matter of reducing nitrates in the water. Water changes are the best way to do that. Adding plants or deepening the sand bed, anything that's going to reduce the nitrates will control cyano. Okay, and we're back to aquatic conquests, neon tetra whitemouth disease. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Uh, if it was ick, I don't think it's ick. It is not ick. Roxanne said she can't mute Lee because he has a wrench. Is this causing a problem? Aloha Aquatics. Hello, hello. Hello, Aquatics. My male is called Romeo and is always getting the females to his crib among the Java fern. It's great to watch, and I love it when finally the female follows him to his hideout. He's a player for sure. What kind of fish are we talking about? One of the really neat fish that do that, that's really hard to keep in the hobby, impossible here in Florida, is the stickleback. Sticklebacks are wonderful players, as you say. They lure females into their nest. But they have to be kept in cold water. Yeah, I agree. This is over the top. Uh, Yeah, Cassie B, you need to clean the fish tank. If you got gravel, you don't have to get rid of it. You can add sand to it. Just add a couple of inches of sand. It'll pack it down and get at least 1 inch, preferably 2 inches of sand on top of the gravel. So it's going to sift down in it, and then you want 1 or 2 inches above it. Bye, Betsy. Thank you. You don't need to get rid of it. In fact, I would not recommend you get rid of it because it will comprise um, an enriched substrate, an anaerobic substrate, once you get the sand in there, which will benefit the plants and everything else. So go ahead and do that. Got it, Mess. Got it, Rhett. I understand. Had some peacock gudgeons, Milligan and Sons successfully spawned in my liquid rock, fairly alkaline well water yesterday, and the fry are thriving. Didn't think it could happen. Any tips on this species? I remember you talking about that the other day. So I take it the fry are still living. What are you feeding them? They should be big enough to take brine shrimp, baby brine shrimp. That's pretty exciting stuff, Million and Sons. I've had them, I've collected gudgeons locally. I mentioned the other day that I collected the peacocks. I'm not sure that's true. I think it was another kind of gudgeon that I collected. The cow gudgeon, the one that gets real big. I have collected 1 or 2 of those locally. They're uncommon, but they're here. I should get another big one. They're really pretty cool. Oh, Ottawa Aquatics is Toronto. Hello, Toronto. Nice to see you. Emperor Tetras. I should get a bunch of Emperor Tetras. They're once you get them acclimated, they're pretty easy to keep. Uh, it, Rhett saying you sent a picture of my elbow. Check my text messages. Text messages. That's pretty exciting about the peacocks, Millions. Aquatic has 6 emperors with 1 male. Females have green eyes, the male has blue eyes. They are a nice, nice fish. And I'm going to be getting some. We'll get a bunch of them so we can ship some out. Oh, we are indeed blessed, Mary Page. Ro, do I have quarantine tanks for new fish? As I rarely, if ever, need to quarantine. If I do, I simply turn off the water, excuse me, the water flow to that tank, and it's automatically quarantined. separated from the rest of the system. So I'm able to set up any of my tanks, any of my system tanks as quarantine tanks. I rarely, if ever, need them. Aquatic Conquest is saying he tries never to use chemicals. Yeah, I try real hard not to as well. Okay, I think I've hit bottom here. Let me get back over. See who else is coming in. Chevy Fish as Rose Aquatic. I'm not seeing Aquarium Cop. But I want to let you all know that I have made a decision about the $100 that he donated to be used as a gift for someone. He had suggested Tana. That didn't work out. The cigarettes overcame her. And I have made a decision, and I have actually sent the $100 to one who is among us based on need and based on support for and benefit to our stream. That person chooses to remain anonymous. So I'm not going to say who it is, but I will assure you that the money was very, very gratefully received and will be used to enhance that person's fish room. They've been looking for some tanks, and it'll be used to buy some tanks and whatever else is needful. But it was very gratefully received by one among us who has real need. So, it's something I felt strongly about and feel very good about, and would like all of you to simply acknowledge that the money has gone to a very, very good person among us. Okay. Lee says, put me in timeout again, because I can go and watch something more interesting instead. You don't need to be in timeout to leave. You can leave of your own accord. We're not going to push you out the door. We're just going to shut your silly mouth when it gets out of control. That's all. And you know that perfectly well. And we love you anyway, in spite of your irascibility. And you are indeed irascible. And I am delighted, Lee Wilcox, that you are not on live with me today, because I surely would have had to throw you off the the live cast. Nonetheless, and nevertheless, you add immeasurably to the content and the delight of our stream. And with one or two exceptions, everybody here loves you. And I'm not going to tell you who they are. If you would like to see my Emperor Tetra mail, the Quiet Conquest just posted a link. We need to go look at that. who also agrees with whatever. We love you too, Lee. Never gone in spirit. Lisa. God bless you, Lisa. Mary Page, congratulations to whoever it was. Keep in mind, folks, never mind. Never mind. Rose on next. All right. Ro wants to bring some emperors home. We will do that. Time out is a dawdle. A dawdle and a doodle. A doodle. More a doodle than a dawdle, I would think. Sticklebacks. Does not need to be fast running. I know they come out of, they're found all over. When I was a kid, I got them from the Chesapeake Bay, from grass flats. It was tidal water, not fast running water at all. That's creek water. So they run from fresh to brackish. Don't know that they're in salt. They are in Tennessee because they sometimes come in with chub bait. Oh. They're feed on Saramicron. Oh, nice. And whatever microorganisms living in the tank. Try adding more microorganisms to the tank if you need to, Million and Sons. That's going to make a big difference. I think there was something else here. Crushed coral instead of sand. You can do that. It will keep the water very hard. It does have a tendency to dissolve. It's calcium based and it could crust over. The risk with crushed coral is that it can dissolve enough to form a crust on the surface. And if that happens, it quits working. So my suggestion, if you have crushed coral, is to periodically stir the surface of it. Just kind of whirl it around a bit. If you have a bunch of Corydoris or other kind of bottom feeders, they will do that for you. I don't use it for that reason because I can't go around and check 100 different tanks. So I just use a completely inert substrate as a cap. Okay. Ah, I missed some nice stuff here. Chevy Fish says, don't flush sick fish. Water treatment plants don't get rid of those types of diseases before the water is circulated back to us. Throw them in your plants for fertilizer. There you go, boys and girls. There you go. Do not flush your sick fish. I put them in a freezer. I put them in a little bag and put them in a freezer. They die painlessly. Not that fish feel pain. I'm of the mind and of the opinion that fish do not feel pain and would like to be proven otherwise. In any case, putting them in a freezer causes them to lose consciousness and die. And then put them in the garden. I know that's what Lee did with his lovely fish Pretty. Put it in the garden so he sees it in the flowers growing in the garden. Cassie B, it's been so long. I've all but given up. My last ditch effort is to make it a father fish aquarium. Well, go for it, Cassie B. All right. Father Fish has control over the wrench people. Indeed, I do. Indeed, I do. How's Frank doing? I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. I talked to his mother. He's not doing well. In fact, he's doing badly, which is worse than poorly. So I'm going to be in contact today and see what's going on. And I will keep you up to date. I'll be on again at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Let's jump off of here and give Ro a shot at it. Thank you all for coming in. See what's at the bottom. Prayers for Frank. Feel better, Red. Does Lee have siblings? I don't remember him saying. All right. Goodbye, guys. Singlemom.com. Do I have any fantail goldfish? Yes, I do. I have a few. I've got more coming, but don't know when they'll be here. I do have a few. So come on over, check it out. Aquatic Conquest goldfish is a good answer. I'm not going to jump back here. We're way over, and I know Ro is getting on right now. So let me let her take over, and I'll see you all at 3 o'clock this afternoon. God bless. Take care for now.